Hey, what's up, everybody? So today, I am going to do a video about my thoughts on TBI and its effects on people resorting to drugs and alcohol, and some of the recent conversations I've had about it. Got a pretty sweet little ding on my head. Tried to pick up a sock on the floor of a hotel room and smacked my head on a corner of an end table. It was very graceful. My wife was super impressed. So yeah, to add to the beauty of my streamlined haircut that I've got, it's like a aged bottle of whiskey, bourbon. The older I get, the better I get. Anyway, so I've had a couple conversations with some people about my past and resorting to drugs and alcohol, and I honestly feel like people with brain injuries and TBIs, the way drugs and alcohol affect people like us is just a lot different than it does other people. And I'm not trying to downplay how hard or the effects of it for people who don't have brain injuries. I understand that that's rough and it's a real struggle for a lot of people, but it's just different in my experience for people with TBI. And I think just the chemical imbalance in the brain as a result of a TBI just makes the effects of drugs and alcohol, it causes more severe depression, anxiety, psychological issues, stuff like that. So I'm just really trying to harp on how easy it is to use drugs and alcohol to cope with these issues, and how hard it makes it to deal with life in general. And I'm just trying to create awareness for people out there to really try to explore other options before they resort to drugs and alcohol because of their TBI, or because they're having a hard time accepting what's happened to them, or any number of things that could be going on with you that would cause you to want to resort to drugs and alcohol. It's just not worth it. It's a slippery slope to a path that leads to just pure suffering, in my experience. So, and also, with these videos, I totally understand that, I might come off as like a pompous, arrogant know-it-all by making these videos. It's not my intention. I genuinely want to be a voice for people who can't be a voice for themselves. I really just want to try to create awareness for people like me, so they don't feel so alone, or they just knowing that there's other people out there that are in the same boat, and that there's other people trying to fight and defend the behavior. Not that I'm condoning bad behavior if that's a result of your TBI, but I'm just trying to defend people who need help. And because I think it's a huge issue that people who don't have TBIs, they just don't understand. And I want to create awareness. So, back to what I was talking about with drugs and alcohol. I struggled with a lot of things prior to my brain injury, but after my TBI, I was so depressed and so upset about it that I wasn't willing to take responsibility for myself, my actions. I blamed everybody. It was a poor me, pity party. Why me? Everybody should feel sorry for me. I deserve everything and am entitled to everything because poor me. It was a very common reaction to TBI from what I've seen, conversations I've had, what I've seen on the internet, articles and forums and stuff like that. So I'm trying to help people see that in as diplomatically as I can possibly say it is poor me, pity party, blame everybody else type attitude will get you nowhere. You will be stuck in a perpetual cycle of depression and basically just you will never move forward. You will always continue to be where you're at, stuck in a rut. You'll be taking 10 steps forward and 10 steps back. 10 steps forward, 10 steps back. You'll never get past that hump if that's the attitude you have. Once you start understanding that you don't have control over some situations, but you do have control over yourself, and you can harness that and get a grasp on reality, that's when you really start to make changes in your life. And when you're taking responsibility for yourself and your actions, finding the inspiration within yourself to be able to do that, that's when things change. And that's when you start making changes and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I know it's so easy to fall into that state of mind where it's, poor me and screw everybody, and I'm going to go get messed up and do some drugs and drink and booze and whatever to numb it, to forget about it, or whatever it is you're using it for. It's not worth it. It just isn't. And I'm not going to claim that I'm perfect, because I struggle with alcohol still. I do have, a problem with getting too drunk, and I'm at a point now in my life where I have understood that, and I'm trying to drink just socially, and I'm only trying to have a drink every, 2-3 weeks, rather than getting completely blackout drunk every weekend like I did for years and years and years. There was actually a point there where I was coming home from work at lunch and taking 3 or 4 shots of whiskey, and then I would go back to work, and then I'd come back home, and then I'd drink 2 or 3 more shots of whiskey. And at that point in my life, I honestly didn't even have any idea that there was a problem with that. I didn't even acknowledge the fact that was an issue. So trust me, I know. The other things in my past with drugs, all I can say is I'm glad those days are yesterdays, and I've lived my life by that saying, by that phrase. And also, you wouldn't be who you are today, so you got to learn from. You wouldn't be who you are today if you hadn't have done what you did yesterday. So you need to learn from your mistakes and apply that to your everyday life. Just don't. If you're having problems with drugs and alcohol, and you're resorting to it because of your TBI and because of the way what your life has become because of it, just don't. Go out, put yourself out there, find the resources that you need, the support groups, whatever it is, therapy, whatever you need to do, because I promise you, if you don't get a grip on it, you will never move forward, and you will be stuck in a rut of mud that you will not be able to get out of for a long time. So there are people out there like me. There are support groups. There are so many resources out there for people with these disorders and these injuries that if you really want the help, it's available. So go out there and find it. Your local workforce services usually can help you with almost anything. They have social workers online and on site to help you figure out how to feed yourself, how to get jobs, how to get assistance, whatever it is you need, there's people out there that can help you do it. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there to get it. I've done it. I've been through it. I'm at a point now where I'm in my life where I don't need it anymore because I've tried and I've recognized my faults and I've gained the personal insight that I needed to be able to be a better person and move forward and get past these crutches. So I would just want to help you guys out there struggling understand that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Remember that always. If I can do it, you can do it. And because I had a very, very severe brain injury. And I'm not trying to downgrade anybody else's injuries, but the severity of mine killed me. I died, and I'm still here for a reason. I feel like it's my responsibility to put myself out there to be judged by other people or just be made an example of so you can better yourself and move forward in your life. So, if you like the reflection in my sunglasses, which has nothing to do with anything, I'm just making a strange observation. But if you like these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share. I would really appreciate it. I've said it so many times already, I just really want to put myself out there for people like me and people like you. Let's be better people. Let's help other people who don't understand. Let's help them understand. And let's try to create some unity in our own little world that we're kind of in. So I'm going to continue to keep recording my thoughts and vlogging and doing the best I can to encourage people and help them to see a little bit of a light at the end of a tunnel if I can. So till the next time. Yeah. Super sexy.